Yes, it's me, it's Benedict. And guess what just dropped into the public domain?
That's right, I'm sure we all know this one. The debut of A Certain Mouse, the cartoon that made Uncle Walt a household name, and the first cartoon ever with synchronized sound.
Or was it?
Because if we rewind the clock back a month to October 1928, we find this cartoon. Dinner Time was directed by Van Buren's John Foster and Paul Terry.
No relation.
And stars a character called Farmer Alfalfa. And this is technically the first ever cartoon with synchronized sound.
So yeah, Paul pipped Walt to the post in terms of release date. But who did it better? Well, get your hi-fi speakers ready because we're going to find out. Let us hear what these cartoons have to offer.
Round 1, Best Opening.
Before I start this first round though, I'd just like to give a special thanks to Ben Norwood and Mark Schurmeister for recommending this particular jewel to me. And if you'd like to request a review, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/BenedictTerry. Right, since I know you're all here for Steamboat Willie, that will be going first.
Now, Steamboat Willie starts, of course, with a steamboat, driven by Captain Mickey as he whistles that iconic tune.
Which I won't be playing because even though the short is now in the public domain, Disney aren't playing fair. Pray for my soul.
But then Pete, Mickey's adversary, climbs up to the bridge because it turns out Pete is the captain, not Mickey, so Mickey is thrown down to the deck, much to the amusement of a resident parrot.
Talk about sick as a parrot. Right, let's see what Dinner Time has to offer.
So, Dinner Time starts with a bird waking up in the morning and spider webbing down to the ground to catch a worm.
Yeah, you failed a spot check there, Tweety.
The bird flies off and comes to rest on a washing line, where a cat comes to catch him, but fails much to the amusement of some other birds.
So we're witnessing what many amateur biologists refer to as the food chain.
Then the cat tries to salt the sparrow, but ends up being flown out onto the washing line, where the bird pecks through, and the cat falls to its supposed demise.
Stupid death.
No, not death. It was stupid, but it wasn't a death.
Because the cat survived the fall, and immediately rushes up to reclaim its 9 lives.
But no sign of Farmer Alfalfa. Well anyway, time to give the first point. And in this round, Steamboat Willie does a much better job at introducing its characters and its story. So, first point goes to Mickey. So let's go back on board the steamboat for...
Round 2, Best Animation. So while Captain Pete chews and spits tobacco into his face, the steamboat moors at a landing where a lot of livestock is to be loaded.
That's a lot of alliteration. A lot more than I like.
Mickey fastens a cow so it can be hoisted onto the ship, but they can't pull it up. So Mickey loads the cow up on hay, as you do.
Well, that worked, and it was well timed as well. So, what about Dinner Time's animation?
We return to a dog digging up bones.
I thought we were done with the intro.
But then a bigger dog bullies them out of their bones, only for a much bigger dog to come for that dog. Then the smaller dog kicks the biggest dog and makes off with their bones.
I'm sorry for the shitty script, this cartoon made me do it.
This is followed by another dog with a bone, but this time at a lake. They dive in and take out yet another bone.
So after that very extended intro, I can safely say this. The animation of Paul Terry, no relation, suffers from serious pacing issues. Everything moves way too fast, whereas Disney's animation doesn't have pacing issues. Everything moves exactly as it should. So for that, point Mickey. Right then, let's get this next round ready.
Round 3, Best Story. So while Mickey is loading the livestock, Minnie comes rushing up, but the boat leaves without her, so she has to chase it down. Luckily, Mickey spots Minnie, so he gets the steamboat's hook and...
Oh jeez, even with Disney the pre-code days were wild.
As Minnie is literally hoisted by her own petard, she drops her music onto the deck, and a goat starts eating it. as well as Minnie's guitar. So Mickey tries to pull it out, and fails, but he does hear some interesting notes out of the goat.
And on that note, we're going to hold that note and come back to it later. For now, what's dinner time doing?
Well, we finally see Farmer Alfalfa as a butcher.
Oh good, it only took, what, half the run time?
A dog comes up to Farmer Alfalfa and distracts him, and takes his meat, so he chases him, allowing a whole load of dogs to come flooding into the shop.
Well, for the point of this round, if it isn't clear already, the story of Dinner Time is a fucking mess! The first half is nothing but filler, and as we'll see later on, the rest of the story isn't that much better. Look, I know it's unfair to compare this to Disney, who knew how to tell a story visually, but this is a jewel and it is what it is. So point Mickey. So now it's time for the meat in our metaphorical sandwich.
Round 4, Best Sound. So as you remember, a goat ate Minnie's music, but Mickey heard some notes from it. So Minnie turns the goat's tail and...
That's a familiar tune. Do your chain hang low? Do a wobble to the flow? Do it shine in the light? Is it plan or is it God? I swear I've heard it before.
So Mickey joins in with the fun, at first drumming on some bins and pans and strumming a washboard. But then...
Man, Mickey used to be quite the rascal.
Mickey then plays a goose, some bull's teeth, and some nursing piglets.
There hasn't been such a flagrant abuse of pigs since a French abbot invented the pig piano. Look it up, it's a real story. So, what's Alfalfa doing at this point?
Well, Butcher Alfalfa sees the raid at his shop and calls the dog pound.
Dog pounds always seem to crop up in these cartoons, I have no idea why.
So the dog catcher rushes out, allowing all his captured dogs to escape in the process.
Did he say something? Well, once again, Disney has the better sound. Not only is the sound clearer, for the most part, but it's very clear that Steamboat Willie was designed with sound in mind, whereas Dinner Time sound was quite clearly an afterthought. So, point Mickey, again. Just one more round to go now.
Round 5, Best Ending. Captain Pete comes, clearly not amused by the little musical number that's been going on, and throws Mickey into the cabin to peel some potatoes.
Man, he just drowned a parrot and wasted a good potato. What a rascal he used to be. Well, this is the last chance for Paul Terry, no relation, to gain a point. Let's see if he can.
Well, the dog catcher gets to the butchers and gets the dogs. That is until Owl is knocked out cold and replaces the dogs in the cart. So the dog catcher is surprised to find Farmer Alfalfa falling out of his cart, and Owl responds in the appropriate manner.
I've seen worse reactions for better service.
So all the dogs steal the butcher's shop and rush away as Farmer Alfalfa chases them and...
What? That's the ending? Not even a single resolution? Point Mickey. Well, that's it folks, it's a complete knockout. Mickey has the better cartoon by a long shot.
I don't mean to sound biased, but I truly understand why no one remembers Dinner Time. Yes, the animation is fairly well drawn and the concept is rather inoffensive, but the story is a mess from start to finish and the pacing is way too fast to concentrate on anything. Oh, and the sound quality isn't that great either.
So yeah, time the movements and sound with a stopwatch and it might have been salvageable.
And that's why, of course, Steamboat Willie shines through. Not only is the animation better, but the story is 1,000 times better, and the sound's a lot better as well, plus it's easily the most memorable of the two. So in terms of scores, Dinner Time gets a total of 4 points, whereas Steamboat Willie gets 11. I'd say Steamboat Willie is a must watch, but you've probably seen it already.
So basically the moral of the story is, it's not who did it first, it's who did it better. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, then be sure to like and subscribe to see more of them, and consider following me on Patreon if you'd like to get first dibs on my latest reviews, and if you'd like to request something. So I'll be back next month with another cartoon review, so until then...
Oh, Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi. Steamboat Bill, a mighty man was he. Oh, Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi. Gonna beat the record.